Hey, how's it going? Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, do that thing down below. I have been moto camping out here on the East Coast for about 6 months, and I have had some pretty interesting experiences. I think, you know, it's not enough time to really know what it's like out here, but I have gotten a good feel for it. And there are a few things that really have irritated me about moto camping out here on the East Coast. So I'm going to go through a few of those things. This isn't necessarily a hate list, because I don't want to do that for moto camping out here on the East Coast. It's just some things that if you haven't done it before that you should expect, and things that have been irritations for me. And there's one thing that just really I don't like, so I will go over that. So stick around if that interests you at all. All right, one of the things that's been a frustration for me is I usually go moto camping on the weekends. I don't have a lot of time to take off during the week and add that in. So one of the things I didn't expect was the difficulty in finding food on Sundays. Out here on the East Coast, especially the further north you get, there are no restaurants open on Sunday. And the very few restaurants that open on Sunday don't open until afternoon or 1 o'clock, which is when I'm traveling through, I want to grab lunch. I might want to grab breakfast. I have not been able to do that unless I want to stop at a Subway, a Wendy's, any of the fast food. Of course, fast foods are open, but that's not what I want. I like to try to eat local when I'm traveling. So I did not expect the difficulty that I have had trying to find food on Sundays, and that has been a major irritation for me. Another thing that I didn't expect to suffer from was monkey butt. I thought I had ridden in humid conditions in the past, but nothing like I have been riding in here, and that has really been problematic. So I think what my solution has came to is using baby diaper cream, and that has seemed to help. It helps lubricate my cheeks on the seat and keeps my underwear from sticking to my cheeks. So that has really been problematic. I've heard all kinds of different solutions using baby powder and different things. None of that has worked. I'm not a big fan of the baby powder thing. I tried using a cool cover. That didn't work either. But yeah, something I hadn't expected when it's super hot and super humid. Which leads me to my other irritation, and I knew it was going to be a problem. I just didn't realize how much of a problem that was going to be, and that is when things get wet, they don't dry out. My boots that I was wearing, I would, if I got stuck in the rain and I would go out to ride the next week, I didn't do anything to try to dry them out because I thought they would dry out. My boots were staying wet for a week at a time, 2 weeks at a time, and it took me a little while to figure out what to do. So I want to thank Frank for giving me the suggestion of jamming newspaper in there to help draw out the moisture. That helped a lot. It was not something I had ever considered because I have not lived in a high humidity area like this. When my clothes would get wet from rain or whatever else, the next morning when I go to put them back on after camping, everything is still wet. So that is something I've had to adjust to and just accept as being a part of moto camping out here on the East Coast. All right, the last thing on this list that I really don't like, it gives me the heebie-jeebies, it creeps me out, and that is daddy long legs. I don't know what it is about them. They're long, spindly legs or little tiny body, but I have been places camping this summer where as it starts getting dark, my tent is literally covered in daddy long legs, and it's right at that period of time where it's a little too dark to be able to, for my camera to work. But I would go to get in my tent and they would be everywhere, and they creep me out. So, and it's not that there isn't daddy long legs out on the west, out west, but there just isn't the volume of them, and I've never had my tent covered in them. Oh, I don't like them. So that is one of the things out here in the East Coast that I could do without. So if you have some of things that you have experienced out here moto camping on the East Coast that maybe bother you or an irritation, or if you could change that, you could leave that in the comments below. If you disagree with me on those, please leave those in the comments below as well. Or if you just want to make fun of me about the things that irritate me, especially the daddy long legs, let me know about it below as well. So thanks for watching. Hopefully this gives you some perspective and it was a little bit entertaining on moto camping in the East Coast. Get out, do some riding, ride safe, and I will See you out there.